Oh, hey. I'm trying this out. I don't know how long my phone will allow me to record for. I'm also looking in the mirror. This is gonna be really awkward because I haven't actually done this with like a camera. I've only done this with a laptop that has like a screen. Because I need to look at the mirror in order to like do my makeup, which is what the whole fucking video is about. I'm gonna try to make eye contact. I don't know if it's gonna work. I have no room to work on this table. I just realized that. Cool. This is gonna be a problem. Alright, let's fucking do this. We're gonna put on some foundation. So I have Maybelline Fit Me in a pump tube that I bought like as a travel kit thing from Forever 21 in the fucking aisle section. And sometimes I mix it with my Kat Von D. And that gives me like a medium-ish to full coverage. I'm gonna take a tiny bit. This is my multitasker from Sephora collection. It's also got a concealer brush on the other side, which is pretty handy. Although putting it in a jar is a bit awkward because like I'm putting it with the thing like squished, so I don't know how that's gonna wear over time. We will see. Dot this the fuck on. Okay, so we're done. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to blend this in, downward motions here, and that'll give us a good coverage. Us, as in you're doing this with me. Are you doing this with me? If you are doing this with me, I appreciate it. I feel connected to you. I feel like we're getting ready together. I kind of go by the philosophy of less is more. I sort of gave up on the whole full coverage thing just because I have freckles and I've got like a bunch of damage from not wearing sunscreen. Wear fucking sunscreen. Wear sunscreen. I'm sorry if I cursed at you. Wear sunscreen. It's good for you. Relatively speaking, now that my face is less pink, it matches my neck a little bit more. So we're just gonna kind of like keep it there. I take my concealer, just a tiny, tiny bit, like not even a lot. I can't tell if it's zooming or not. We're gonna apply a tiny bit just below the eye. At the end of the day, you're slapping shit on your face that's colorful and fun. This is the NARS Soft Matte. I was about to say the Radiant Creamy Concealer because I'm so used to saying that. I've never had a concealer as beautiful and natural as this. So I'm just gonna kind of pat that in, melt it in with my finger. My finger's got, obviously, it's warmer than the brush because I have a body temperature because I'm not a dead body. All fine and dandy. Now I'm going to pat some powder on. My mom was saying that this is too shiny and it reflects the light too much, so I'm gonna try and see if I can't get like the logo cover effects. Oh, hello? Yes, maybe? It's a translucent. Translucent meaning there's not much color to it. It has a bit of a color, but it's mostly clear. So it's gonna set everything, but it's not gonna give much coverage. Loose powders tend to puke on you. Don't let it make you its bitch. I really shouldn't be using the word bitch. I love it though. Do you see all of that dust? Do you see all of that gross crust? It's in my nose. You guys, I'm struggling. I'm not working in a timely fashion. I'm being extremely dysfunctional. You can choose to set all over the face or you can choose to set just the areas where your makeup tends to move around. I'm also setting under the eye and I'm setting on top of the eye. This will help with our shadows later when you set with a powder on the eye. So we're gonna go in with some shadow. No, we're not. I lied. We're not gonna go in with shadow. Throwing people for a loop. I'm gonna just blush up a little bit. So I have a Z palette here. It's kind of dusty, but whatever, my life is dusty. I live harmoniously and symbiotically with dust, okay? It's fine. I get sneezes sometimes, it's cool. It's cool, it's part of life. Blush slash bronzer. I'm gonna use this little like half moon thing and like a little bit of this. Just like here. My ex mentioned to me back when I was with him, he was always like, why do you cover the redness? Just to put it back on. And I was like, you got a point, sir. Then I realized it's all about the controlled placement. You don't want blotchiness here, and you don't want fucking redness all over the place. You want it here, just on the cheeks, because it makes your face look more, I don't know, put together. Not like you're about to die of heat stroke, because that's what I look like all the time. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. God, my back hurts from leaning in a weird direction. So I'm gonna spray everything together with Kat Von D setting spray. Here you go! I'm just gonna spray, you know, till I die, basically. I'm just gonna fan myself real quick. Oh, it feels so nice though. That did feel good, for sure. It's like nice and cooling, especially because it's fucking hot in here. Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna check the mirror. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see, but I still have most of my natural texture, most of my natural freckles showing through, which is good. It's kind of like the effect I go for. So we're gonna do shadow now. I'm using the Shade and Light palette because this has been like my new holy grail for a bit. I love colors, like don't get me wrong, y'all who know me know that I fucking love slapping like any bright color on, and I'm not afraid of that shit. But actually most of the time I'm wearing neutrals just because I'm lazy as fuck. So the key for getting a good blend is to establish a base onto your eye. So if you don't have powder on your eye already, go ahead and do that, either with your face powder or with a base shadow that's the same color as your skin. Just for spits and giggles, I'm gonna do that today. This one and this one. And I'm going to just kind of press in with a flat brush. When you have a smooth base, the rest of the shadows glide on top of it easier. So I'm actually gonna take the same brush, I'm just gonna kind of dust it off. I have a towel in my lap right now. I'm gonna grab my transition colors, which are gonna be these two, the taupe and the orange, these two. And I'm just gonna pop those in my crease. And I'm actually gonna kind of flare them upward a little bit. Nice. Windshield wiper around the socket. I have deep set sockets, so it's easy for me to see where to put my color. I'm fortunate in that sense, but if you have a hard time finding your crease, what I like to do is I like to look down, but hold your mirror below you and still keep your eye open. That way you can see when your eye is halfway open, where your eye folds when it's open. That's when you know where your crease is, if that makes sense. I think I'm gonna start building. So we're gonna go in with just a little bit deeper brown. This one, maybe that one, maybe those two. I'm gonna start just kind of like taking the placement and narrowing it down a bit. We're gonna kind of create a blend and a gradient of color. So we're not gonna place this darker color in the same area that we placed the lighter color before it. So I'm just gonna take a little bit here and start in the outer corner, but just sort of keep it within that last third. Don't look so sad. You're crying, eyes won't dry you. We've got that color down, right? So I'm just gonna kind of take a little bit here. I actually have a blending brush. Where is my blending brush? Where'd you go? I'm gonna take my blending brush. There's nothing on it. It's just a fluffy, just a little fluffy guy. And soften the edges of that. And I'm going in circles. And I'm working, you see how much I'm actually going onto my brow bone? That's gonna make sure that the product that you're blending is gonna expand into that area. I could just stop here and say like, voila, let's do some mascara and then we're done, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna grab like it's an angled brush, but it's fluffy. It's not a precise angled brush, if that makes sense. You've got a little bit more volume in the hair. So I'm just gonna take that lighter brown and just outline my lower lash line and connect it up here. And that's just gonna make sure that the entire shape is all solidified. I'll drown us in
the purple drapes that you.
It's really hard to do this in front of a camera. Let me just tell you right now.
I'll see.
Got the shape, right? Pretty easy. Kind of like a contour, like an eye contour, which is a thing, by the way. So it's a frequently used term. I'm not making this shit up. I'm going to start with my liner. I love doing a wing liner on myself just because I feel like it makes my eyes are pretty round, so I like to kind of elongate them and make them look a little bit bigger. Let's get into this. We're fucking doing it. The way I like to map out my liner is essentially, I actually like to pretend that my lash line is continuing out. And that's gonna give you kind of an idea as to how long you want your wing and whether or not it's going to be angled up or down. I had the mirror in the way. Can y'all see? Can y'all see this? She laid. So if you can see where my eye folds, it's a pretty narrow area. So I'm not going to go any higher than that, which means my wing for my eye shape is thinner and curvier. Now, some people who have more lid space can play with the thickness of their wing and the corner of it, but I don't have a lot of space to use, so I want to make sure that I'm optimizing the space I have. If I were to do something too big and too thick, my eye would fold over it and it would warp the line. You just want to make sure that you're using as much as your lid space will allow you, and that way the line itself is nice and crisp and solid. So I'm going to keep my eye open for this. And I'm actually not starting at the very end. I'm starting more towards the middle. That's going to make sure that your point is nice and sharp. So we're going to go in. I got a triangle, right? So that's just going to kind of like give you a guide as to how your wing's going to go. I'm going to kind of just take a step back and look at how the shape is forming. And if I like the way that generally looks, then I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to take the rest of this and just very lightly go along the lash line and connect to that triangle. I'm using it sideways, not like this, if that makes sense. Using the actual applicator, not doing it like a pencil like this. Because that can you see how unsteady that is? I'm using the length of the brush to my advantage.
Back to times when lives were similar and times that all seemed easier. Don't be afraid, I'll be.
And then I'm going to fill in the triangle that I made in the beginning. And then I'm just going to kind of make sure that the inner corner is nice and solid too. I have a lot of lid space in the center. I have rounder eyes, so like there's a lot going on there, but I feel like if I do that, it makes them look rounder, so I keep it thinner. Just rules of balance, I suppose.
Come close to me, I'll whisper in your.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So the rest is just gonna be pretty fucking simple. What mascara do I want to use today? This is the Tartist Lash Paint. She pigmented as fuck. I'm just going to wiggle and roll. I feel like mascara is such a personal thing, and I feel like everybody does it the way they like it. So I'm not gonna like tell you how to live your life, you know? Until I find a lash curler that doesn't fuck my lashes up, I'm just gonna keep them straight, and that's fine, you know? Like, it's only a problem if you say it's a problem. I like this mascara too because it's buildable. You can layer it. But for today, I'm not gonna go too crazy. I do have a lot of lash. They're very long, but I also have like 4 of them. So I just don't want to make anything spidery today. Spider lash look isn't bad. I've seen it work. Personally, I don't like it on myself. That's okay. We can still be friends if you wear that kind of eyelash look, okay? Who am I to judge? Lips and brows. I think I just want some lip balm. I'm gonna use my sugar lip balm today. It's got my name on it because they gave it to me for free. Hello. There we go. I love the way this smells. For my brows, I use an eyeshadow because I'm a scandalous rebel and fuck the man. Powder is fucking powder. I don't give a shit what you think. I could take a brow powder, put it on my eyes as eyeshadow, call it a fucking day. Powder is powder. And I firmly believe that. So I'm just going to use this, this like ashy brown with my angled brush. I'm just gonna outline my brow first. And you can see that my brows aren't really even, but that's okay, because nobody's brows are even. You're a damn human. You gotta accept it. I'm just going to outline the underneath border first, and then come back and shape the arch. Am I being a moron? I don't know. There we go, okay. I'm trying really hard, you guys. So I'm shaping the underneath first. And I want to get a balanced shape for each one. So you can see this one has really no arch and this one has a lot of fucking arch. So I'm going to make more arch on this one and less arch on this one so they meet in the middle. So we're going to go back in and shape the arches. I'm pulling that product back through and then just kind of feathering it in between to fill in. And then I'm going to take my spoolie. Comb everything down. Make sure the hairs are accentuating the lines that you're drawing. Same deal. Gonna round out this arch here because this arch over here is more rounded anyway, so I'm gonna make sure they're balanced. That's all she wrote. That's all she did. Thank you for putting up with my endless antics. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Do what makes you happy. It's goo. There's no rules. It's fucking goo. Whoa! Whoa! It's totally doing something crazy! Do I say butt a lot? Let me know if I say butt a lot. I wonder if that's because of what it's made of. What the fuck? I'm not God, I don't think. I don't even, like, think there's God. I mean, I do. Wow, don't get into religion, Bria. I like butts, so that's not a bad thing necessarily. Okay. I don't even know if this is gonna fucking, like, go up on any platform. I'm leaning forward. This is extremely uncomfortable. There's a lot of things to work out, as I'm very quickly realizing. It says apply in the AM. Okay, well, it's fucking noon, but it's not nighttime. So I did it. Blushing. Oh. Somebody called 911. I hope they're okay. There's a fucking trash truck. Alright, that's happening.